Hey there, it's Uncle Mark. It's Sunday, May 17th, 2020. And welcome to the 6th edition of... You Can't Be That Stupid. Stupid! Today we're going to continue talking about good decisions, bad decisions, and just general intelligence by the public, or lack thereof. Come on. Get it together. 1.5 million cases in the United States. Over 1 million active cases across the country. And they're reopening things in some places. Let's look at Toronto. That's where I live. So let's focus on Toronto. Okay, we've reopened golf courses and dog parks. Or did we? Well, golf courses were seasonal, so they didn't need to be closed in the first place. They're closed since last year. So yeah, they reopened as a seasonal thing. But they weren't closed because of COVID-19. The dog parks? They're outdoors. Did they really need to be closed? I don't think so. So are we really reopening anything? We're still hovering around 300 cases per day here, which is consistent. So why are we talking about reopening things? That's way into the future. Should be talking about that when we're at 0 new cases a day for a week or two. Which leads to the next point. The media keeps talking about reopening things. And they're all happy about, hey, we're going to report that we're going to be moving on to the next phase. The next phase is phase 1. So where are we now? Phase 0? Phase -1? It'd be great if you could explain this because it doesn't make sense. Their business is there to make dollars and not cents. Because this totally doesn't make any sense. To reopen a business when your cases are still going up. Similarly, there's talks about a lot of people going up to their cottages up north. Well, it's funny how most news stations reported that on the Friday afternoon even, the highway was wide open. Usually it would be plugged with cars, bumper to bumper, not moving. So people, a lot of them are smart enough to make their own decisions. They're like, yeah, you know what? But it's not the right time. So by the looks of it, with this many people still staying at home and social distancing and being more aware of the situation and the seriousness of it, I think it's pretty obvious what happens if you start opening up businesses that shouldn't be open. It's simple. The number of cases will skyrocket. And you'll overwhelm the medical system. I mean, in part of the same broadcast, you have them telling you, oh, we've canceled this and we've canceled that till at least the end of the summer. All these public events and gatherings, all this stuff needs to be canceled. Okay, that's great. They're canceling unnecessary things. This makes sense. Good. It's a step in the right direction. But then, during the same broadcast, oh, well, we have a reopening plan and we're looking at easing restrictions. Hello? It's not a teeter-totter, you idiot. Pick a direction. Either we're continuing on the path we're going on, or are you taking a different path? I mean, this indecisiveness is ridiculous. This decision making is kind of like looking at a weather forecast when you're trying to plan a huge outdoor event. Sunday. 100% chance of thunder showers and a chance of a tornado. We still like Sunday. We're going to do the outdoor event anyway. There's only a chance of a tornado. There's only a chance. We think it's fine. Do any of you remember back in the days when you were in school, unless you're still in school now, and your teacher was talking in a monotone voice, about maybe ice melting or paint drying or wallpaper peeling. It basically just sounds like the teacher from Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. And you're staring at the clock or out the window, or you're just daydreaming because you're bored out of your tree. Somebody's going, yeah, that was me all the time. Well, right now you're not in school and you're not in a class. And we can draw our own conclusions, or so to speak, stare out the window or at the clock or daydream. We don't have to listen if we believe what they're telling us is completely useless information. And a lot of what we are getting these days, it's time filler. So it's going to be filled with a lot of useless, time-wasting mumbo jumbo. I mean, sometimes already you turn on the news, they're not far from reporting, hey, there's a cloud in the sky. You want to add breaking news to that? Which brings me to my next point. Remember back in the day when breaking news was a big deal? Today, everything is breaking news. Try to figure that one out. What really makes me laugh almost every day is breaking news! Today's numbers are in. They're similar to yesterday's numbers. How is that breaking news? A plane falls out of the sky. That's breaking news. You're on the scene of a fire or an accident or some kind of out of the ordinary scene that's being reported live. That is breaking news. The fact that 3 more people have COVID on Monday than had it on Sunday is not breaking news. I don't care. And another thing that makes me scratch my head, you watch a politician taking a COVID-19 test on live TV. Okay, you really have nothing to report. Secondly, I don't know this guy. I couldn't give a rat's beep if this guy has COVID-19 or not. I don't care. Unless this guy is going to have a test that comes back positive and he's getting on the first plane to come here to my neighborhood. Now, growing up, I always believed that figures of authority were exceptionally intelligent people. Were they? Because in today's day and age, why don't you just push that vaccine aside, and instead, why don't you get making some verbal Imodium so we can cure all the verbal diarrhea that's being broadcast over the airwaves? Politicians, whatnot. They don't know about pandemics. None of them have ever lived through something like this before. So we all live and learn. And when you live and learn, sometimes lots of mistakes are made. But in this kind of scenario, stupid mistakes can be very costly for a lot of people. And some people could end up paying the ultimate price. And you know what? It's just not worth it. So we go back to basics. Basics. One person, yes, one person had coronavirus or COVID-19 at one point in the United States. One person. And now, what is it? 1.5 million people have gotten this disease. Yeah, that's pretty serious spread. So basically, the strongest statement can be made by the smart people in society. So if things open up that really shouldn't be open because of a bad decision. And nobody shows up to these places. So it's almost like the business is closed. And the smart people are making their statement. Another interesting one. Airplanes are still flying. They're still in the air, just not as many as before. And some guy, he says, "Oh my God, I can't believe the plane was like so full." Well, you idiot. You bought a ticket for an airplane. You know what the inside of an airplane looks like. So, they sold a bunch of seats. And everybody might have thought, well, it'll be empty. Well, everybody thought the same. And all these people are going to the same place. So you know what, man? Deal with it! I mean, unfortunately for this guy, you can't just go and buy common sense somewhere. If you don't got it, you don't got it. Too bad, man. I think the funniest statement that I heard today was today's news was now anyone with symptoms can be tested. Well, that's great. Because there's so many asymptomatic people out there. So if you don't test everybody, that's pretty much useless. I would like to give credit to the golf courses, though. They know the situation. They know it's a seasonal business. They've decided to alter things so they can open. Like one golf cart per person for people who don't live in the same house. It's good. The restaurant's still closed. It's good. Not moving the flags, so they're touching less things. It's good. All makes sense. They're just working around what they were given to work with. Their business is operational. They spread out the tea times more, so there's less chance of people catching up to each other. Should work out just fine for them. But not every business is golf and outdoors. They're not all going to work like that. So we just have to see how the numbers look at the end of the long weekend. Which probably won't be much different than they are right now, because that seems to be the pattern. You have to look at the long-term numbers, not short-term. And then we go from there. We don't need to turn on the TV to watch a news broadcast so they can tell us, I don't know, we don't know, we don't know. Well, then why are you broadcasting? You're not telling us anything. Stop wasting my time. Common sense. We started off with masks are optional. We've progressed to masks are mandatory. We can all see which direction this is heading in. I'll close with today's thoughts on common sense, okay? You live in a big city. The city wants a sports franchise. 1 million people, for example, want a sports franchise. So, they all agree. They make a bid, and they end up getting the sports team. And everybody's happy, because that's what the majority wanted. Now, you get the same million people. And guess what? 1 million people want to win the lottery. But guess what? 1 million people aren't going to win the lottery. Newsflash! So in this case, your 1 million people who want to win the lottery might be the same 1 million people that want all the restrictions to disappear overnight. Just because 1 million people want something doesn't mean it is the right thing to do at the moment. If you like my Tell It How It Is videos, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and watch some more. Thank you for watching. Till next time.